Seth Tuttle didn't play in any of the overtime
Right.
in like the last 8-9 minutes of regular. Missed
No.
about the last 18 minutes of that game.
Right.
Talk about not using Tuttle in the second half and in the overtime.
Yeah, we had gotten ourselves into a position where we were down either 7 or 9 when I changed the lineup again, and we had been playing Nate in when Seth was out, so that we had a better offensive team in terms of being able to stretch the floor, putting another three-point shooter out there. So we went with that lineup, and that group got us in position to win the game. And for those of you that have, and most of you have followed us now for the time that I've been here, it's not the first time that we've had our best player sitting on the bench at the end of a game or into an overtime. It happened in one of the biggest games that we have played at Illinois State. We sat Cajo and Jordan Eggleseder for the end of regulation. We sat them for overtime, and we went with the guys that got us in position to win that particular game. So it's not the first time it's happened to our best player, and it won't be the last time that it happens to our best player. You know, if we're in a situation where we've got a group on the floor that's really playing well and either gets us out to a lead or brings us back and gets us into a position to win a game, there's most of the time I'm going to go with those guys late, or I'm going to go with them if it gets into overtime. That's I felt like that was going to be our best lineup to win that particular game.
Like before George Mason, you have a whole week to prepare for Iowa. Would you almost rather have a game, or do you like having that whole week?
You know, I'm glad it happened to us heading into the George Mason game. We'll do things a little bit different this week than what we did the week leading into that game. Now, one of the other differences, we had just played 7 games in 16 days and really felt like the guys needed some time off. So right now, right now we haven't had quite as many games, of course, as we head into this week off. So we're going to, the guys will lift today, get some individual workouts in. We're going to practice tomorrow. They'll lift again on Wednesday, and then we'll practice again Thursday and Friday. So, you know, I think it sets up well for where we're at.
With the game they had, did you see any of that, the Iowa State game?
Yeah, I've watched it now. I didn't see it live, but I've watched it now.
They're obviously going to be in one of those hungry modes. How do you kind of combat that before you even go into the game?
Yeah, I don't think that's something from our end that we can control. You know, and nor have we ever tried to. You know, we're going to control what we can, and that's the things that we do with our practice. I mean, they're going to do what they do, and we're going to do what we do.
What do you expect out of Iowa?
You know, very good team again this year. Obviously, getting themselves into the NCAA tournament a year ago, and they've got a number of those guys back. So they've got an experienced team. They're big and they're long up front. Their guard play has been very good, and they've got depth. You know, they've got all the things that you need to have a very good team and have a very good season. And you know, they continue to change their defenses. They're going to press you. They'll play an aggressive man-to-man, or they'll play some zone. And then they are one of the best teams, made shot or missed shot. They're one of the best teams in the country at getting the basketball to their end of the floor and getting the ball to the rim. So our transition defense is going to be extremely important, and how well we rebound the basketball is going to be extremely important. But they present all kinds of challenges.
Your offense, looked like a little bit of a lead this past week. What did you see in that area in terms of what you wanted out of that?
Yeah, like I maybe briefly mentioned when I started, the guys, we've got a really unselfish group, and that helps. And then you know, maybe just getting a little bit more comfortable with what we're doing and a little more comfortable with each other is why we were so good at Denver in that first half. And again, the games are so different, the two that we played last week. But you've got to make a lot of plays against VCU. You know, we're not running much. From a scheme standpoint, you've just got to make a lot of plays. And I think the fact that the guys are unselfish helps, but you also have to have guys that can play. And I think we've got a lot of guys that can play all the way up and down our lineup, and that helps you.